Hello and welcome to an awesome review. And today we're looking at the Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Link action figure by Jakks. So as soon as I saw these figures were a thing, it was like I knew I had to have it because I saw the new face, I saw the new body, I saw the new sculpting basically, and was like, yeah, that looks so much better than what we got a few years ago with the World of Nintendo line. A lot of people are calling this World of Nintendo Wave 1, but it doesn't actually say World of Nintendo on the actual packaging, so I'm not going to call it that, though Samus is part of the wave, and there is a Zelda figure, which I did pick up. Samus, I didn't see her, unfortunately, but I did pick up Link and Zelda, and honestly, I was super surprised with how good these figures are. There are a few very minor nitpicks I could throw out there, but for the most part, for $10, I honestly couldn't ask for more. So let's just get into it. So first off, this figure does come with a broadsword, which looks good. It's not too soft, it's not too rubbery where it's like bending out of packaging or anything, but it's not solid where I feel like it's gonna break. It's just right, honestly, and it fits in his hand perfectly fine. It looks good, and if you really wanted to, you could, take it out of his hand. Like I said, not too rubbery, just enough. You can slide it between his little belt right there and have it on his back, even though he doesn't have like a sheath or anything. So you can carry it on his back if you want to do that, which is awesome. Aesthetic-wise, like I said, this figure looks amazing, especially compared to the old one, which I'm going to put a picture side by side. I don't own the old one. I never picked it up because of the way it looked, though now I regret it because I would really love the weapons that came with it and even the hood, but that's another thing. But yeah, you can see this figure looks amazing. The detail on the boots, the pants, the tunic, everything on it looks really good. All the line work where we have all the designs on the tunic and everything look really nice. A lot of the stuff is sculpted on, the stuff that you would expect to be sculpted on, and it's a separate part is what I should be saying. By that I mean like the belt on his chest that goes across and everything is a separate rubbery piece, as you guys kind of saw me putting the sword in there. But it looks amazing. It's a really nice brown. The golds on it are painted really nice, good looking gold color right there. I will mention that the bottom part of his skirt is a nice rubbery material that does help with the articulation, which we'll get into in a second. I just want to talk about that head sculpt, which honestly, as you can see, looks really good. I think the only issue I have aesthetic wise is there's a few places where I do feel like he could use a little bit of a wash, especially on like the arm right here with the little guard and everything. It's painted, it's two tones, it's not one thing, but I do feel like maybe just a little bit of black in between would look really good, and maybe on this arm a little bit. The pants could use just a little bit of shading, but aside from that, I mean, it's painted pretty freaking perfect. Like I said, the gold on it is even a nice shiny gold. The buckles are silver. They didn't skimp out on this figure in the paint department at all, and good on them, because this is the upgrade you expect companies to kind of take. We saw what they did with the World of Nintendo figures. They were good. They're not bad. I'm not trying to say like they were horrible figures. Star Fox line looks amazing. I have Fox in packaging just sitting right there on my wall. And I've said it like time and time again with the Sonic figures. They look so good. The Mario figures, there's a reason why that line didn't die out when the rest of the World Nintendo, died out, because they look good, they articulate decent enough. Some of them could be better, like Yoshi and everything, but for the most part, they know what they're doing sculpt-wise. It was always kind of like, wow, they really couldn't nail that realism look with Legend of Zelda, even though it's not pure realism. It's somewhat cartoony, and you can see it here, and they did a great job. That's where I'm getting at. They did a great job with the eyes, with the face. The only thing I think I can complain about is maybe the skin tone being just slightly off. But even then, it might just be that it's a little bit glossy, and that's not really on them. That's just an action figure thing. Action figures are usually glossy, because if you have a matte action figure, one, it'll cost more money. Two, it's easier to stain that kind of material. Glossy finish, harder to stain, harder to get dirty. There's a thing behind it, which I'm not going to explain here, but it makes sense. But yeah, the face looks good. No complaints. Pointy ears look amazing. Eyes. I do kind of wish he had a little bit more of a neutral look on his face instead of just always angry. But then again, he's always fighting to having, save the princess and everything. So it makes sense. Anyways, articulation wise, he can look left and right. Can't really look up that much. He can look down a little bit. There's a shift there, but it's small. And it's because of the hair, I think. It is a ball pegged head. I wish there was a little bit of a hinge in there because then we might have gotten a little bit of movement. But aside from that, good enough. Arms. And you can hear that kind of ratchety joint in there. Maybe not so much on that one, but you can see they do go up a very good amount. That's great. Down, rotate all the way around. I do wish they could go down a little bit more. That's just like a personal preference, and there goes his hand. So, just pops back on. Another thing I like about this company actually is that does tend to happen with some of their figures, with some of the Sonic figures. But for the most part, it's usually just pop it back on and you're fine. It's not super loose or anything. So just want to put that out there that it's not, it's not just going to fall off or anything. It just pops back on, which is a good thing for play and everything. If anything, I'd be more worried about these ones because those are a little bit more annoying to get on right. But anyways, like I said, personal preference that I do wish it could go down lower. But that's something that a lot of other companies kind of don't do anyway. So can't really complain about it at all. It's not a complaint, it's just personal preference. I'm just saying that right now. Anyways, double jointed elbows, which I think is fantastic, and swivel at the elbow. If that's not going all out, I don't know what is. Hinge at the wrist, rotation. I do wish it was the other kind of wrist because he is a weapon wielder. Should have that up and down movement instead. But it is what it is. I mean, most companies do it. It's something I wish would change, but again, it's there. He does have rotation at the waist, which again pops off pretty easy. I'm wondering if there is any type of way to modify this, just because it's not the best rotation, and like I said, that's a separate piece, which is great. But the problem with him, pop that back on. Yeah, he doesn't have much left and right. You can see if you do it too much, he does pop off. He doesn't have too much forward and back. It's the left and right that kind of bother me. In a way, I understand. He's very oval shaped. He's not very round, which again makes sense. So it breaks up the mold and stuff, and it would look weird. But still, I would like just maybe a little bit more, like something like that. Which you can force it, like I said, too much, and it will pop off like you saw. But again, pops back on, really no problem. Like I said earlier, and you just saw, this is a separate piece. The legs can go outwards that much. They can't really kick back, the way they did his butt. They really could have just cut around it right there. I mean, the skirt hides it. If you wanted to modify it, I'm sure it wouldn't be a problem. I don't really care that much because most of my figures don't kick back in general, like posing-wise anyway. But I don't know, maybe if I get a second one, I'll try modifying him or something. They can kick forward just about that much, and it's not even that this is getting in the way. It's just, again, the way they did his crotch and everything. The plastic does kind of get in the way, but not horrible at all. Rotation at the thigh for a Jakks figure for $10. Yes, double jointed knees. Again, really, really good. No boot rotation or anything. He does have an ankle pivot because his ankles are on a ball peg. Can't really move forward or back too much though, and that I think is just the molding, the way the boots are. But he does have a toe hinge. He has a freaking toe hinge. Again, for $10, Jakks specific. Honestly, shaming the competition, in my opinion, because this figure is loaded with articulation. Is he the most articulated figure in the world? No, of course not. But for $10, it does so much more than even some 3 3/4 inch figures do at the same price point, or for more money, for a licensed figure. Because again, you could say, well, those figures are licensed, like the Star Wars ones or something. Nintendo license, I'm sure doesn't come cheap either. And he is loaded with articulation for $10. It's great. It's awesome. I love it. And it's funny because I was going into this figure thinking, okay, he's going to be all right. And I saw the pictures. I'm like, he looks like he has double jointed elbows. Saw Zelda. She looks like she has double jointed elbows. I wonder what else they did. I wasn't expecting this level of articulation in a $10 figure. It's awesome. It outdoes different figures that are more money. Jakks it's up there as one of my favorite companies because of the Sonic stuff. If they start doing way more Nintendo stuff, I want more Zelda stuff now. I want like all the Links. I want this Link in his different costumes that you can get in the game. I want Ocarina of Time Link. I want just basically everything. Twilight Princess. Just if you're gonna do it in this quality of work, I will take repaints with like modified head sculpts and everything. I will take a deluxe pack. $20, make him have interchangeable hands, make him come with a bunch of weapons to make it worth it, I will buy that all day, because this is awesome. Again, it's not going to like outdo the Figma figures, but you gotta see the price point, and you know, versus this, it's so good. But let's just get into some comparisons so you guys can kind of see what he I guess is next to other things. Yeah, because that's what comparisons are, obviously. So first off, here he is next to the Figma Link Between Worlds Link. You can see he is taller than him, and again, the only thing missing from the one on the left to make him look better is just that matte coating. If he wasn't glossy or anything, I think he would honestly look perfect next to him. I mean, he looks pretty perfect next to this Link anyway, but it wouldn't be too different. They both have kind of the same level of articulation, even in the chest. The Figma a little bit better, but not by much, honestly. And if you do have any of the other Figma figures, or maybe any of the other World of Nintendo figures, I'm sure they will fit the weapons. I've already had this Master Sword on him. The shield fits on him, but because this one is the smaller Link, it does look a little bit too small on him. I would go with one of the other figures if you have it. I unfortunately don't have Skyward Sword or Twilight Princess. I missed out on that one twice, which is unfortunate because I really want that one. If you haven't read the Twilight Princess manga, I highly recommend it. It's, I think, ending soon, and it's not too many chapters, maybe 10, 11 books, somewhere around there. But yeah, again, recommend it. Just putting that out there. But yeah, you can see, again, they look good. Honestly, 10 bucks. I don't remember, 50, 40, 60, depending on the one you got. Probably a lot more nowadays because Figma, Good Smile, they did go up in price. But yeah, really good figures. Next up, to put them up next to some other video game icons, here we have the Sentinel Mega Man and the Jakks Sonic, modern Sonic. Yeah, taller than both of them, would look good in a Super Smash Bros. Display. And of course, here he is next to Mario. This is the Star Power one, which is why he's all shiny and glossed up. I don't think I have a regular Mario, but I do have, right here, Diddy Kong, in case you want to see him next to Diddy Kong. Let's actually move these guys, because there actually is a couple more to my left I kind of forgot about. We have him next to Yoshi, and next to the Nindoroid Kirby, which is basically Kirby. I mean, it's a Nindoroid, but it's Kirby. It's not like that kind of chibi look. It's, yeah. But you can see, again, would look good probably in a Smash Brothers display. And for anyone wondering how he looks next to a 6-inch figure, there he is next to the Time Force Red Ranger. You can see he is shorter. He is more in that 5-inch-ish scale type of thing that Jakks does. It's that, I don't know what to call it. It's that toy scale. It's kind of like the standard older scale. It's not, 6-inch. It's not McFarlane's 7-inch. Just it's its own 5-ish inch thing, which works for these kind of figures. Do I wish it was more 1/12 scale? Yeah, a little bit, but honestly, if they're just gonna do an entire Nintendo line in the scale, then I don't care. I don't mind. We will be looking at Princess Zelda pretty soon, hopefully tomorrow. I will say she is a different height, which is awesome, and she does come with the Sheikah slate, which you can actually attach to his belt here, or her belt. But again, we'll look at that more tomorrow. Anyways, that'll pretty much do it with my Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild Link action figure. Honestly, if you couldn't tell, obviously, I really like this figure. It's not just the fact that I love Legend of Zelda or anything like that. I was really thinking this figure, it's probably going to be okay when I saw it, when I heard about it, when they're making these again. You saw what we got with Robotnik from the movie, from the Sonic line and everything. So I thought, how good could it be? And then when I started seeing the changes, I was like, this isn't just a reissued figure. This is actually pretty good looking. And yeah, I'm definitely very pleasantly surprised with how well this figure came out. I highly recommend it. If you're a Legend of Zelda fan, yeah, $10, Walmart, check it out. Hopefully you can find one. Hopefully it'll be coming to Targets and maybe the internet, because Jakks does have a habit of not being able to find things they sell online easy. At least individual figures, like their multi-pack stuff is a lot easier, but when it comes to this, yeah, I don't know. They need a better PR, because I didn't know these were coming. I'm sure a lot of people probably didn't know these were coming. We need more announcements. But aside from that, yeah, really good figure. Highly recommend it. Looks great. Articulates so good, especially for the price point. And even for something that could be considered more expensive, it still articulates better than some other figures. And all I can say is I hope this line does well. I hope we get more Nintendo figures. Again, I'm not calling it World of Nintendo because it's not on the packaging. But if they're gonna do a line for like different Nintendo, franchises, and this is like the Zelda line, and there's the Metroid line, and maybe the Donkey Kong line, which the Donkey Kong did get reissued, the bigger one. I might be picking that up soon because I missed out on it, but it is the same as the older one, but I do want it new packaging. It's on Amazon, $23.99, somewhere around there. And yeah, Star Fox. What else could they do? I mean, I don't need a Kirby, but for people who need Kirby, Fire Emblem. I mean, imagine a Fire Emblem set of figures with this kind of articulation. Again, not the greatest in the world, but $10 for a Fire Emblem line? Yeah, again, that would be amazing. Of course, I do want more Legend of Zelda figures, and hopefully it won't take them too long to have more figures out. This wave is only 3 figures long. Hopefully they do a 4th, because that's kind of Jakks' thing. It's usually 4 figures in a wave, but maybe they're testing the waters. I don't know. It's Nintendo. It's gonna sell. Come on, guys. Just put it out there. But anyways, once again, that is my review for this figure. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I will be back hopefully tomorrow with Princess Zelda. And yeah, anyways, thank you all for watching. Thank you for 3,000 subscribers. By the way, I was gonna make a post, and I'm still gonna make a post at some points. But yeah, we reached 3,000 subscribers over the weekend. Super excited about that. I do want to do something special about it. Don't know. I have no idea what we're gonna do. If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments if you stayed this long. But yeah, once again, thank you all for watching, and I will see you all later. Goodbye.